Hi, this is Angela and you are listening to Divinely Connected. Today we have our first Q&A episode. If you have a question that you want to submit, you can go to my website at angelamcclellan.com underneath the podcast tab, and you will see two options. One, where you can submit a question that will be featured on the Q&A, or you may sign up with your contact information to receive a live reading on the Divinely Connected podcast. Now, today's first Q&A question comes from Linda. Linda's question is, when you spend every minute with a loved one before they pass, but you are not next to them when it happens, is it meant to be? Absolutely. Absolutely. Time and time again, Spirit has explained through meditation and through readings that if you are meant to be there, you will be there. And if you are not meant to be there, you will not be there. And Spirit never interprets it as you don't love me, or you're not honoring me in the ways that I deserve, or thinking that you're selfish, or thinking that you're less than. None of that judgment or criticism is ever, ever, ever the case. Okay. In this case for Linda, it does seem like she has been there day in and day out with her loved one. And it did happen when she wasn't present. Your loved ones, conscious or not, understand and know that you were there. Oftentimes, I would say more times than not, Spirit tells me, I was waiting for you to leave. Right? So this is either like they don't want you to have that experience, or them personality is not someone who would want to have, watchful eyes as they take their last breath. So depending on the spectrum of reasons, they always say, I know that you love me. I know that you're there. I know that you wanted to be there. I know that you were in the car going there, whatever the case may be. Never to have any woulda, shoulda, couldas connected to the departure. Now, Spirit has taught me time and time again that they 9 out of 10 times, because there is that state of unconsciousness for whatever reason, medically, medication wise, or their body declining, that they are in a space where they're unconscious. Now their soul is present, right? Their soul knows. And how they show it to me is that they are outside of their body, already in spirit form, waiting for their body to release them. They're tethered to their body with what looks like an umbilical cord, which I find so interesting at how that's how we come into this physical form. We have that umbilical cord connecting us to the mother, and how we go out. Our physical body releases our soul by a cord, right? It's really beautiful. So how they show it is that they'll say, I know that you're in the room. I know you're down the hall. I know you're home. I know you're in the car trying to get there or at the airport. And I'm standing next to you, helping you through this experience. They already go to work, right? Their soul, because they're more concerned with you. And how are you going to survive this experience of losing them? In the space of, in spiritual realm, there's no pain, there's no suffering, there's no worry, there's no fear. There's also no restrictions, no limitations, no distance, no time, no restrictions, no gravity, right? So they're able to be with you, with your other loved ones, here, there, and everywhere. Because in spirit realm, it's all one. So they're able to be in the hospital room, they're able to be in the car, they're able to be across the country with the loved ones, helping them through this experience, receiving the news, sorting through their emotions, and helping them through the grieving process. You would not believe, honest to God, you would not believe how often I will be reading for, we'll say monthly for sure, but I would even say almost weekly. I will be talking to someone, I'll be reading for someone, and they're addressing I know that you were there. And they would say, I was there every day, holding their hand. And I got up and I went to the bathroom. And that's when they passed. Or I went into the hall to talk to the doctor. And that's when or I just went home to grab a quick shower. I didn't shower in 5 days. What are the chances? I'm like, real damn good, because they're waiting for you to leave. But it's true, because for whatever reason, that may be their personality that doesn't want to have watchful eyes. Maybe they are trying to take care of you this last effort of not giving you that experience, not wanting you to see that, wanting you to remember them in a different light. It's always with good intention. It is never hurtful. It's never meant to say that I don't care about you, or you're not enough, or you don't love me enough, or you're honoring me in the wrong ways. It is never that. I promise you. Okay. So those last moments, which mean so much, they mean so much to us in the physical form, has less impact in spirit form than we recognize, right? So how we depart, those last moments together, does not dictate their level of peace or the level or the amount of love that they take over with them. So you may ask, okay, but Ange, like, my daughter had a tragic passing, or my husband had a tragedy, or we're talking about accidents or murders. How does that work for them? And what I have seen again and again is that you will have that outer body experience. You will have that protection from the other side to say, okay, hang on, let's take you out of this experience, even though your physical body may still be in it. Let's take your soul out of this experience so you're not fearful, that you're not in pain, that you're not suffering. And then there's a time between the outer body experience and when the body completely lets go of that umbilical cord. So it does work. And even though nobody may be there, even though nobody can get them to help them or to save them, if we're talking about accidents or like you say, traumatic departures, there's still that almost common courtesy of sparing them that pain and that suffering, especially if there's unimaginable details connected to the departure. Know that they are in the spirit realm, surrounded by loved ones, angels, spirit guides, and that unconditional love. And this is source energy's way, God's energy's way, whatever word you want to use, way of protecting us and loving us right down to the last moment here in the physical form. And I know this can be so triggering emotionally because, well, if they loved us, why did we have to have this experience in the first place? Right? And I get that. And I completely get that. I couldn't imagine the conversations that I have with people and the losses and the way that they lost their loved ones. I could not imagine. All I know is what Spirit tells me. And I know that our departures are not accidental. You cannot die accidentally. You can cross over because of an accident, but you do go when it is your time. They have also taught me that how you depart does not dictate the level of love, peace, and good feelings that you have on the other side. You do only go to heaven. It is amazing. The energy, even with the brief time I get to spend there when I'm in readings, it is unbelievable. I want everyone to be able to feel it. And that they're always okay. They're always okay. They are only concerned with those who they love that are still here. Having to live without them, having to go through the details and the services and the grief and how it has completely changed their life. And how they how so many, and one is my, and this just reminds me, because I was at a group the other day, and this father figure came forward, and he wasn't a believer. He didn't come across like someone who believed in heaven, and he was tickled pink at how amazing it was, how he was immediately in perfect health. So he felt amazing. There was no physical limitations for him. But more importantly, how much influence he has on those who he has left behind, how he still lives every day with them, engaging with them, communicating with them in a different way, but how much influence there still is within your departed loved ones with you here in the physical form, more than our brains can comprehend. We're so limited. As humans, we are so limited. Even for me, like sometimes it gets so vast and I'm like, okay, like it's almost like my brain won't compute it, right? But it is. So I never want, Spirit does not say this to take away from your grief. You have to grieve the way that you grieve, and you feel the way that you feel. Spirit will bring it in to bring in that ease of no matter what, they are in heaven, they are with God, and they are okay, and that they love you, and that there's never anything that is left unsaid. It's literally impossible. When you cross over into spirit, you hear what they say in their head, you hear what they say out their mouth, and you feel the love in their heart. Okay? And that transcends time. So, those last moments together, some may experience them, some may not. Either way, it was meant to be the way that it was, and that it does not take away from the love of the relationship. It does not make your loved ones be mad at you or hold a grudge or prevent them from communicating with you. It is as it should have been, is what they say, whether we agree with it or not. If you have a question that you want to submit, head over to my website at angelamccollin.com under the podcast tab. There will be an option for you to submit a Q&A question. There's also an option to sign up with your contact information to receive a live reading on Divinely Connected Podcast. See you next time.